Man, we just saw Weapons yesterday.
How was it?
Holy fucking shit, man.
Okay. I listen to a weekly podcast called the Weekly Planet podcast, which is two Australian guys that talk about all the superhero movies, but they talk about a lot of genre stuff. Generally, they talk
Mhm.
sci-fi movies and they talk a lot of horror movies when they're good ones. Like they did an episode about Sinners. They just did an episode about Weapons, and I was listening to it today. A lot of times my move is, if I know I'm going to watch this within the next like 2 or 3 months, I
Right.
don't listen to their episode yet. I wait, and then I'll listen to the episode, or I'll listen to the first part of the episode. When they start talking about the movie, I'll wait. When I think it's either something that I'm not going to get to for a long
Whew.
time, or if I think maybe this is a movie that's too much for me, I'll listen to their review. I'll listen to their review first and then be like, okay, now maybe I could do it. They said specific at first. They were like, hey, not a very gory film. And then they go, actually, yeah, there is a good bit of gore, actually. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
It's funny. There's it's got some humor to it, which it needed, because I thought it was great. I had a great time.
So this writer director did at least one other thing previously. What was
Barbarian,
okay? Yeah,
which was so good and weird too. Like, Barbarian starts off and you think it's going to be about one thing, and then it takes this turn and you're like, oh, fuck me, this is not what I thought this movie was about.
So that was the number one thing that they said at the beginning of the episode. They were like, much like, and they covered Barbarian as well. They were like, much like with the first film from this director, Barbarian, if you think you want to watch this movie, then just don't watch anything else. Don't listen to us. Don't talk about the movie. Don't go online. Just go watch the movie and then come listen to it. I like a movie that's like that, like you almost can't talk about without the reveal. I think that's very, very cool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. This was wild. It was wild. I also watched Superman. That's what I did
I
last night
saw
while I was sick on
Superman
my
too.
couch.
That's a
And,
good mix, man.
and I loved it. I fucking loved it.
So I really enjoyed, we are, first of all, we are the Articulate Coven.
We've been talking for 2.5 minutes already about things that aren't even what our podcast is about.
Sometimes though, that's good. I know at least a few people who say that they live for the pre-conversation. So
yeah,
that's good.
it's for you, for the people.
That's right. It's for you. It's for you. It's not for us at all. Welcome to the Articulate Coven, the original, unofficial fan podcast and community for Anne Rice's Immortal universe, the Vampire Chronicles, Lives of the Mayfair Witches, and the Immortal Universe TV series from AMC and AMC Plus. The Articulate Coven is Ashley and Joel, but it's supported by listeners just like you. Find out more at articulatecoven.com/join. We are the Articulate Coven. I am Joel.
I'm Ashley.
And we are the Articulate Coven. And we are a podcast all about Anne Rice, her Immortal universe, the books, the Lives of the Mayfair Witches, the Vampire Chronicles especially, and especially the AMC and AMC Plus series that they are adapting those novels into. We love Interview with the Vampire. We're very excited for the Vampire Lestat.
Mm-hmm.
We have tolerated Mayfair Witches, and we are fingers crossed for Talamasca.
Hopeful for Talamasca.
October 26th to AMC and AMC Plus.
I'm not sure that we tolerated Mayfair so much as that did degenerate into some genuine hate watching towards the end.
It happened to us, Ashley. Mayfair happened to us twice, in fact, already, and is going to happen at least once more. We are told.
Once more into the brink, dear friends.
To speak quickly to our pre-conversation there, I also watched Superman. I liked it a lot. I don't know that I would say that I love it. I do think it's going to be a movie that grows on me. I love all of its pieces, though. Every single one of his casting choices, I think, is just top notch. The world that he's given us a glimpse into is very, very cool, and I can't wait for further exploration. If you are a fan of this show and you're thinking to yourself, Superman is not for me, let me suggest to you to go to HBO Max and watch Creature Commandos. It was actually the first thing released from James Gunn's DCU. It's an animated series that stars Frankenstein and the Bride, amongst others, but it's basically like a Suicide Squad type team of monsters.
Okay.
Rick Flag Sr., who appears in the Superman movie, played by, what's his name? Grillo? Frank Grillo, I think is the actor. He's like the leader of the team for the Creature Commandos, and he's voiced by Frank Grillo in the cartoon too. So like, it's very adult, it's very dark, it's very not the same tone as Superman, but it does take place in the same world. And again, I think the range there is going to be really exciting. You know, they've got
Yeah.
an HBO Max series coming up this year called Lanterns, which is billed as sort of like True Detective, but in the DC universe. And that
Okay.
is, I'm here for that.
This James Gunn version of DC, I was pretty taken by it almost immediately. And then there's like a great fight scene to a good song, which he's so good at, you know. And I was like, this is a damn fine good time. I had a really good time watching it. And Rachel Brosnahan is so good as Lois Lane. Holy shit.
She literally brings every good thing from Margot Kidder's performance,
Absolutely, 100%.
but
Yeah.
modernizes it and makes
Mhm.
it her own and fleshes it out in a way that isn't in the original Donner film. So like, yeah. Kudos all the way around. And Nicholas Hoult is great as Luther
Yeah,
too.
he is. He
Um,
is. I'm I'm
the
I'm just going to go ahead and say that you could have kept Cavill. I thought this guy was gonna be way younger. He's not. You coulda kept Cavill. I'm kind of corn sweat's sweet. Sweet as corn sweat. Bless his heart.
I
I
mean,
loved him. He was really good. He was really good, but I was
he's
like, "Ooh,"
gotta be 10 years younger than Cavill though, at
I
least.
mean,
At
I guess.
least.
Probably.
I here's my thing. I think they wanted to show a Superman who ain't been at it long, and I don't think that Cavill can give us that anymore. I mean, I think
Yeah.
he doesn't look old. He's still a young man too.
No.
But yeah, I think you needed to start. Also, you would have
Get
had
it. And they
more
want a fresh,
hangers
clean
on.
start. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
I do think we're going to get more than a few people that linger over. For instance, there's been rumors recently that Margot Robbie may continue as Harley Quinn. I mean, she's already played that role like a dozen times, so maybe she's
Yeah.
tired of it, but still, I think that's a possibility. And anyway, I like what he's doing. We're both co-signing off on that. Here's the one other piece of ancillary media that I want to discuss for a second, because I've been dousing myself in it, Ashley. uh Disney now owns both the Predator franchise and the Alien franchise, and they're doing really fucking cool things with both, honestly. um so first of all, if you haven't seen it, came out like a year and a half ago, Prey
Prey was
from
so good.
Dan Trachtenberg. It's fantastic. That's the first Predator movie under the Disney umbrella,
It
and it
was
was
so
really, really
good.
good. He's currently about to release, like this fall sometime, we're going to get Badlands, which is the next Predator movie from him. And while he was making that one, he made a secret animated movie that's out now on Hulu and FX. It's called Killer of Killers, Predator Killer of Killers. It's like
Jesus.
3 little anthology stories put together into a feature-length movie. Really, really good. I watched that the other night. But the big thing though is Alien. Alien Earth is now on FX and
Yeah.
on Hulu, and I watched the first 2 episodes. It's really, really good. You honestly don't have to see anything of the broader franchise to enjoy it, I would say, if you're kind of new to that world. Technically the 2 movies from Ridley Scott, the prequels, what is it? I just watched them. Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Both of
Ugh.
those technically take place before this TV show does. But so the showrunner, whose name now escapes me, what's his name? He did Fargo. Noah Hawley. He did Fargo for FX, and he also did Legion for FX, which was really good. Uh, he has said that he's kind of disregarding the things that he doesn't like about those 2 movies.
I'm fine with that. There's a bunch of
I
things to dislike about those.
I think we're really all fine with. I gave both of them 3.5. They both look beautiful. Like Ridley Scott can just shoot a movie like nobody's business, and the
Right.
conceptual design for this franchise is always great. I feel like, but yeah, there was something missing in both of those, and the third movie that should have happened to wrap up what he was trying to say there never came about and is never going to happen now, I don't think.
Right.
So anyway, Noah Hawley's in charge of where this franchise is going, seemingly, and the first 2 episodes show some real promise and
That's
some
good.
really
I'm
cool
excited to
ideas.
watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, go watch. Plenty of gore, plenty of action and excitement, but also some deeper philosophical idea, which I think is what makes the Alien franchise so interesting, is like what it's
Yeah.
trying to say and what it's trying to think about. Where do we come from and where are we going? And like the metaphors for birth are always really interesting.
Ugh.
And anyway, go check it out. It's really good. I'm signing off on that too. Tonight, Ashley, we're talking about a book, though,
We
not
are.
some other random TV franchise and movie
No,
franchise.
we're going to talk about a whole book. Not a whole book,
Oh,
but a third of a book.
a big piece of actually a fairly small piece of a book, if we're being honest. This is not that long a book. Blood
Right.
Canticle is what's on deck tonight. Blood Canticle Part
is.
2. So we're talking about chapters 11 through 21. I think, is that what I had written down?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is. I double checked because I almost stopped at 20, which I've done
honestly,
once before and then had to
okay,
like, holy shit, I didn't read the last chapter of this.
20 would have been satisfying, but I think 21 was, in retrospect, I did it because the numbers made it round for the 3 parts, but it was a good decision to go all the way to 21, I think, in the end, because of where this little piece of the story goes. Actually, it's so funny because we've gotten a lot of comments this week from older videos as new people find our stuff and start diving into the background. 2 or 3 different people said some version of, "Oh, I'm watching your reactions to Mayfair, and it's crazy to hear how positive you were in the beginning
How
of
hopeful we
this."
were.
Yeah. I think if we went back a couple of weeks, Ashley, and listened to the first part of this book, I think you and I were both so hopeful about where this book was going. Hey, I'm really kind of enjoying this, and it's nice to be back in Lestat's head. And the opening was weird, but like cool things coming.
Right.
Not so much.
You know, I did appreciate this recap we get, this Taltos recap, because I needed it, frankly.
Yeah.
I needed that recap. It all sounds a little less insane when it's not a whole book and it's just kind of like a breakdown.
Oh man,
a scientific
I don't know.
breakdown of it.
I almost feel like it sounds more insane when you just lay it out in a conversation than like,
well, I would think that if it's just a random conversation with a stranger, it would sound very psychotic. Like, let's be real.
My son, lover, demon child. Okay, the broad strokes, and this came up some in our discussion of the first part of this book, definitely in some of the feedback that we got about it, but goodness gracious, the 2 presentations of women we have in this novel with Mona and Rowan, excuse me, they're both just so insufferable for different reasons and so unlike. I mean, and again, it's been a while since you and I, either one, have read Lasher or Taltos.
Right.
So like, I mean, maybe this is very accurate. This feels, though, like what we got in the TV show, not what we got in the goddamn novel that you and I both love so much.
Right. I like these the ladies have been through some shit, so I get that they've grown and changed. Fair. But they are pretty insufferable. Mona, well, like Lestat's just like calls her out. He's like, I literally have never had a fledgling that just sat around and cried like this. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you are.
And he had Louis.
And he had Louis.
He had Louis. And he's
I know.
Of all the whiny, bitchy vampires.
And I've got you. I thought you were going to be rad. You're this little crying bitch. Oh. So
I will
funny.
say, Lestat, the rule is if you've got a problem with everybody, maybe the problem is you. All your fledglings go bad, sir.
I mean, are you the common denominator?
Okay, I do love that Mona immediately demands a computer to document her
she's
gonna
thought
write
process
a manifesto. As she's transitioned.
She's
yes.
writing her vampire manifesto.
But what is she writing? She can't talk about anything other than the possibility of her redemption through Christ. Is that still possible? And I'm like, okay, Anne, Okay,
Well, you didn't.
genuinely, this must have been contractual, Ashley. I'm thinking at this point in the novel, this must have been, she had to have owed them one more VC and nothing else would do.
I mean, my was she worried about Jesus' salvation when she was doing all the cousin fucking? Is kind of what I
Right?
wonder. Mm,
I mean,
I'm like, this is so out of left field for this character. Like, oh, I'm Catholic, so I have to really think about this shit. Wait, what? No, you didn't think about that when you were sleeping with your cousins.
all of them, literally all of them, the old
The
men,
old ones, the married ones, all of them.
your goodness
And
gracious,
you were
lady.
like 13? Come on. And now I'm supposed to think you're like this pious nun?
Yeah, I don't, and meanwhile, she's like, lingering on both Quinn and Lestat and calling him boss, like she's the groupie, but also this like, I don't know. Anyway, it's a weird moment for Anne's writing, y'all. I think it was Zach Brahani. Somebody in the Facebook group shared a newspaper clipping, and I don't think I ever saw the article, but if I can find the article, I'll put the link in the show notes. But I think there's an online version of this article too. But it was right after this book that she came out very publicly and very loudly, like I think as part of the promotion of the book, she was like, it's the last one, everybody, don't, there's no more witches or vampires, because she had found Jesus again. And yeah, I say that and I don't mean to be flippant, she didn't find Jesus again, she found a way to love the church again. She's always loved Jesus the
Right.
whole time.
The
She
beef hasn't been with
Yeah, I think sometimes she did doubt maybe like the nature of his theological existence and who he was in the cosmos of the universe or whatever. But
right.
the thing is, she made her peace with the church and she decided to go back to the church. And it's so, I don't know, man. I'm holding it against her here, especially in retrospect now that I know that she went back on this
Mhm.
eventually. It's just hard for me to buy into any of this in a meaningful way, and it makes Anne the person look almost as flighty as these two characters here.
Well, I mean, and I mean, she did have some ups and downs on her religious journey. I mean, she was a little flighty with religion.
It's fair. That's
I
fair, I
mean,
guess.
in a way, not like I mean, but like, God, these two are fucking Mona, fucking Mona. I was like, calm the fuck down. Like you want information. Shut up and listen to what she's
Yeah,
telling
right.
you. Like you came here to get answers, and she's trying to give them, and you're like talking over. Calm down.
Uh, so it starts right after she begins this, you know, opining on the religiosity of it all. She decides to fix the Mayfair family problem. She calls Rowan directly and says, "Oh, Rowan, it's a miracle. Everything's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Also, all of Quinn's clothes fit me. Not Quinn, Queen's. All of
Queens,
Queen's clothes fit me. It's so she's got all these cool things. It's
I'm
so
set.
wonderful.
Yep,
So strange.
completely
So
normal.
strange.
Like
Um,
that's gonna be the like especially with someone like Rowan, that's gonna be
yeah,
enough.
right.
Like that's not gonna be enough. For Michael, it's enough. He's like, hell yes, a miracle. I'm here for something good happening to us.
I do.
He's
I
just
do
like, thank
love.
God something nice happened to the family.
Well, I will say, in a world where you've seen all the things that these two have seen, I mean, they should not buy it at face value that that there is no further explanation, I would say. But to think that it is impossible that there
Right.
would be some sort of supernatural or preternatural explanation
Preternatural.
for how your niece has recovered in some miraculous way. Okay, fine. But again, I would have shown up and asked questions. Um, Here's something that we missed in the first part of this book. Neither you or I discussed this at all, and I'm fairly certain she did speak in the dialogue at least once, but she speaks more in this section for sure. The narrator for this audiobook, who we already have discussed, is not great in a few different ways. He makes Michael Irish, for instance. His Rowan, someone commented, and I looked for it just a minute ago, I can't find the comment now, but someone called it out, I think in the Facebook group, and said that this audiobook has Rowan sounding like what is it, Roxanne, no, Roxy, who is the slug character from Monsters Inc. that's like,
Oh,
I'm watching you
oh my
about
god. Yeah, yeah. Oh my god.
always watching
Always
you.
watch it. Roz.
Roz. Her name's
Roz.
just Roz. Yeah, yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
Roz.
He's got Rowan sounding like Roz. Now,
That's
okay,
hilarious. Oh my god.
canonically in the page, Rowan has a husky
A
voice.
husky whiskey voice.
I have always heard Kathleen Turner though in my head,
Right,
not
not Roz from fucking Monsters Inc. Well, okay, here's something interesting that happened to me when I was reading this section because I read it on my Kindle the other night, and I finally heard Sam in my head.
oh, nice.
Mhm. It finally happened, and I was like, "Oh, I'm reading this as Sam. This is so good." And I couldn't hang on to it for the whole time because there's just sections where I'm like, fucking everyone's just stupid right now," and I got annoyed, and so then it was back in my head, in my voice. But yeah, I got Sam's voice for a little while reading it. It was really fun.
Yeah, several people also agreed that they are strongly convinced now that they need Sam reading all of the audiobooks.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to find the specific comment and who it was, but someone brought up Dia Liga says Sam Reed reading out loud Lestat's adventures, smiley face. And then a second thought occurred to them. Sam Reed reading out loud the Dora's pad scene.
Oh
Yes. Yes, friend, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. I want Sam Reed to tell me what it tastes like when he drinks Jesus's blood. Yes, I want him to describe that scene with Dora. Yes, I want him to
oh
describe his I want him to talk about how silly it is to pee, for instance.
yeah.
Yes, I do. In fact, I want Tale of the Body Thief and Memnoch the Devil specifically. Anyway,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. No, it's so fun when it happens. I would love it to be real.
Okay. Uh as we go on in this life, we learn that telling doesn't always purge. I didn't write the character's name that says that, but I thought that was interesting. I think that's maybe Rowan as she begins to talk about their story and unfold it for everybody. And
Yes,
you're right. You
I have
mentioned it
that
already. We've
highlighted
got like a
too.
download, but I like that. Like that's true. First of all, sharing something does unburden you, like for sure. But that doesn't always get it done, particularly if what you're sharing is some wrong that you've committed
Right.
or malfeasance that you're responsible for. And so, like, the purging comes when you fix it, friend. It's
Right.
not just the sharing.
The end of that line was telling some did you say the end of it? Telling sometimes merely is a reliving and it's a torment.
Yes, no, I didn't say that out loud, but yes,
It's
that
so
is,
great.
yeah, man. Like, again, I know as a partner, a lot of times, like, Kelly's having a sour day and I'm like poking and prodding, trying to find out what's wrong.
Mhm.
But like sometimes me telling you what's wrong ain't gonna help it. So maybe
It's
I
just gonna
just need to
piss me
feel
off
bad.
over
Yeah,
again. Yep.
I'm just gonna feel bad actually.
I'm gonna sit in
Um,
this for a minute.
okay. Lestat and Rowan are not even together at this point yet in the book, I don't think. I mean, they have been in each other's presence, but they
Right.
are not yet together in this section. And suddenly Mona turns on him. You've fallen in love with her,
Oh,
but you
man.
can't have Rowan. You just can't. I love that and she doesn't even realize it, but Mona gets so fucking tight about this. First of all their characters are really in the broad scope of that series are just two antagonists. They have
Mhm.
different layers to their relationship when you see individual moments, but the way that Anne has drawn them basically is they hate each other for a variety of reasons and they continue to hate each other for
Right.
new and exciting reasons.
Right.
And now it's like, no, but you're mine. I'm the vampire. She can't hang out with the vampires too.
She doesn't
And
get to
it's
be
like,
cool. She doesn't get to be in our cool club.
you're like, yeah, okay, but listen, you're not even Lestat, right? Like, you're Quinn's, you're his daughter.
Again,
It's like,
you've been a vampire 36 hours. Can we calm the fuck down?
but it makes me think of like, I don't know, the teenage daughter or even worse, like the college age daughter mad that dad is seeing someone,
But she's
It's like,
petulant.
fucking get over it. Anyway, She doesn't listen to this show, so I'll say it. My sister gets tight anytime my mom talks about seeing somebody. And I'm like, don't. You're going to.
We'll do that. Let her have her
Okay.
fun.
That's just going to mean she's not ever going to tell you about it.
That's
just
right.
So
You're going to miss out on a fun story or an important part of her life. Bless.
Oh, man. Okay, so Michael shows up to ask for help because Rowan has become basically catatonic, and he doesn't exactly know why.
What the fuck, Rowan? Like, Jesus. Like, okay.
You say that. Lestat just spent like 5 years catatonic.
I mean, it's true, but like, I mean, maybe he had better reasons than Rowan has had.
Rowan has not met God and the devil. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, come on. It's just everyone's complete overreaction everyone has to everything in this section is just like, I felt like Mark Gwynn used to accuse me of having dramatic nerve storms. He would call it when I got upset about anything. That's what this whole section is. It's everyone having dramatic nerve storms.
Well, even Michael, I mean, like, he even says it when he comes and appeals. He's like, I don't know what magic you have. I don't know what spell you cast on her when you saw her yesterday. He's just, none of this makes any, again, this is just exemplary, I think, of Anne. Anne's off her game in this. She can still turn a phrase, but the arc of this thing and the way that characters act is just, it's just not right.
It's
and
everyone's all over the place.
Yes, literally. It's like, yes, we're all having a hormonal imbalance of some sort. I mean, I think she was past menopause at this point, so I can't blame it on that for her. I don't know what her deal
I don't know.
was.
Right now, perimenopause just makes me like tired and mad. So
I literally, it only popped into my head because you mentioned it in like one of the recent episodes, and my wife is currently discussing that from time to time as well. Okay, so Lestat says, hey, we're just going to share all the secrets. Vampire's going to come clean. We're going to talk about this Taltos bullshit. We're going to get it all out in the open.
Get it all on the table. This way you can trust me with your secrets. I can trust you with my secrets. It's quid pro quo, bitches.
Yeah. And he says, maybe that bond can save us all. Which again, it's like, oh, we're all seeking redemption now, are we? Okay, fine.
We were just having fun. Like 5 chapters ago, we were having a good time.
Well, even at the end of the last book, like we were chasing off demon twins and saving the Ophelia princess and, creating this vampire love story. No, we all got to save our sins now. Okay. All right, fine. Lestat says that he has given up his belief in the Savage Garden for belief in the creator. And just like, okay, they're not exclusive, a-hole. Like, that's the thing that really, one of the things that I loved about Lestat as a teenager and why I identified with him so completely is this mix of religiosity and aestheticism and like the idea of a deist religion.
Right.
Yeah, there's a creator, there's a prime mover of some sort out there.
There's got to be some power, but we don't know what it is. And
he don't fuck with us on a day-to-day basis, probably, right? Like he did it right. He set this thing up and he left it alone, and we're doing the thing now, right? And that's sort of what I have always felt like the Savage Garden was. It's savage because it's not tended. Right. He set it in motion and then left it alone. That's the interpretation that I kind of always had.
Well, and and anything could happen. To me, it's like this idea of like a world of possibilities too, where it's like there aren't as many rules and mores and things like that. It's a world that you can kind of hedonistic in a way, and I don't know. This section, I highlighted part of this where the old times when I didn't believe in anything, when I believed that the only laws were aesthetic laws, but I was young then and new to the blood and stupid, expecting further miracles. Before I knew, we knew more of nothing and nothing more. It's like, I'm like, okay, Louis, what the fuck? Like, what?
Except,
when did you get this so maudlin?
No, but that's what really kills me is like, but you literally know it all at this point, Lestat.
Right.
You know where vampires came from. You have met Jesus, and spoken to who you believe to be the devil. Your friends don't. Your friends think that guy lied to you about being the devil, but you still think he was.
Right.
You talked about hanging out with angels. You've said you've had secret adventures with angels and demons since then. You do know, friend. Actually, you do know, in fact.
So much. You've got so many answers. What a fucking brat.
Okay, so Rowan tells us suddenly she has seen a black-haired vampire in the quarter before. I mean, we're guessing it's Louis, probably.
It's Louis.
Yeah. Didn't follow him, didn't mention it to anyone else, even her Talamasca friends over the years, which again is like, well, that's very convenient, Anne. But sure, okay, fine. She noticed the vampires too. We know that she would have noticed them. Like you talk about how they feel each other's presence.
Right.
The witches feel the vampires around. Anyway. Okay, so Merrick's disappearance finally woke Rowan up about the vampire idea, though. Like, Merrick goes missing. She doesn't know Merrick, but she's the head of the family, so she hears these things.
Right.
And then she finds out what supposedly happened with her from the Talamasca, and she's like, hey, wait a minute. I saw a vampire one time in the court. I'm like, okay, well, okay, finally, you're on the case.
Bless. This brilliant doctor.
My favorite part of this section, though, Ashley, and I honestly had forgotten that she was still alive. Dolly Jean Mayfair wakes up. Yes. Dolly Jean wakes up from her rum-induced coma.
Love Dolly Jean.
She's got some things to say.
She's got some things to say. She's coming off her cups. Sit down and listen. Dolly Jean's going to tell you about it.
So, first of all, Dolly Jean knows all about the vampires. The Mayfair family called them the Blood Children. And Taunt Oscar knew all about them.
Maybe all y'all could just have had a conversation at some point.
A fucking Post-it note, Ashley.
I mean, y'all all in the same family. Y'all hanging out around the same house.
Okay, one of my favorite lines, honestly, that Anne has ever written comes here from Mona, even though I've complained about Mona's characterization. She says, let me get it straight. I triumph over death, and we gather here to listen to the personal memories of Rowan Mayfair.
It's literally what you want, you little twat. God.
I mean, she does make a good point. They're like, okay, still, Rowan's in the center of the room. Hey, everybody, I'm immortal. Did we tell everybody about that? From one of the strongest vampires in existence. So, like, I'm probably can't even burn in the sun.
I'm
probably,
badass.
Actually. Yeah.
Maybe I could be the center of attention.
Also still a witch. Could have been the head of the family until you decided to not follow your demon lover around the world anymore. You remember that? Because your husband killed him? No? Okay. All right. Let's tell everybody. Tell everybody this story, bitch. Anyway, I love, that is the one thing that I do like, is the fact that she is still sniping over here on the side.
She is really pissed.
I do like that.
Like, she does not have any time or any sympathy or anything for Rowan.
As someone who identified so directly with Mona when I went through that series the first time, I have always been Team Mona and anti-Rowan, honestly. So
we started this book, and I heard a lot of people really have some hate for Rowan in relation to this book in particular. And I was like, I don't get that. Well, no, then I got it, because I was like, oh, she's turned into this, like, I really do think, like, maybe this is the book that someone read on the Mayfair team. Like, this is the book that they read. They read Blood Canticle, and they were like, this must be how Rowan is all the time. Jesus.
Yeah, I do want, we've joked often about the fact that The Witching Hour and Lasher especially are both very long books, and apparently they just couldn't be bothered. I mean, the cast even joked. Alexandria,
I was like, absolutely, I'm not reading these books.
Yeah, it's like 900 pages, guys. Alexandria Daddario finished it on the final day of shooting season 1. She finished the book, and it's like, okay, it's a little late actually to inform your role and performance there, ma'am. But I do wonder if it wasn't like, if Mark Johnson wasn't like, hey, you should read those crossover books so you got an idea, like how you could start telling us how you think we could triangulate.
Yeah.
And that's all they did is
Yeah.
read this one in particular.
That's what it feels like, because I was like, you get a rundown about Taltos. They mention Donnelly. They mention, like all kinds of shit. You uh running across the field to fuck another Taltos, fucking
Right?
having orgies and shit. Like there's all kinds. Like it did. I was like, fuck. I think they read this book, and this is the only one that they read.
Why am I getting double Ashley? I'm getting like double types here. I'm trying to search for Ashley Templeton in the alphabetary,
Oh,
and it's not giving it to me. Who is Ashley Templeton? I just wrote the name down in my notes here. Ashley Templeton.
Ashley Templeton. Is that a person?
Oh, that's the that's the Taltos that has Mona's daughter. So Mona is looking for her daughter, and that's really the information that she was trying to get from Rowan is, do you know anything about it, whatever. And they were confronted by an elder Taltos, someone who had lived for centuries and centuries in secret, and was drawn to them. And that's when we get our scene of him being attacked basically by the female Taltos. Like, she can't help but get on top of him immediately, and they leave. And then they, like, Rowan and Michael say that they allowed that to happen because they thought it was probably best, but they
Yes.
assumed that there would be contact, and then suddenly he goes AWOL and they can't track them
Close
anywhere and they
down all of
can't
his
find them anywhere.
businesses and everything.
Yeah, yeah. But Ashley Templeton was the name that he was going by.
Ashlar? Was it
Ashlar. Oh, yes. Ashlar Templeton. Ashley is a typo. I was like, what is Ashley? Yes,
Ashley
he was
is
going
me.
by
I'm
Ashlar.
Ashley.
Yeah, right. Ashlar Templeton was his name. And so theoretically, he has Mona's daughter off
Right.
somewhere in a secret island in Scotland, one imagines.
I mean, if Mayfair is any indication, perhaps.
So it is cool to me, though. And here, I think maybe we get some of this in the Taltos book as well. But I did remember Anne even saying at some point that the Taltos are sort of like her, like, vague feint in the direction of elves, or the idea of the fairy people,
Yeah.
British folklore, basically. And I do love that they very specifically call out, they're like, yeah, if a Taltos mates in the wrong way, sometimes there's a stunted offspring and they form the little people. And you're like, okay, man, like, all right, you really did the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they retreated from man and civilization because they are magical in some ways, but not capable of the warfare or the
Right.
underhandedness.
Well,
They're naive, sort of, in a way, right?
and then also, if you fall in love with a human lady and you have sex with her, you're going to kill her with your magic penis.
Well, but again, less so your magic penis than your magic sperm, I think.
Right. It's
It's
your
literally
magic
like an
sperm.
implantation issue
Yeah.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
But it
It's
does
a growth ratio issue.
it is so weird that so much of that is here, and that's basically all they kept of those stories for
I
the
swear to
Mayfair
God, the
series.
second I read this, I was like, this has got to be the only book someone read.
It's so weird, man. It is so weird in retrospect. But yeah, I think you're exactly right. Like, maybe they even only read this section. They were like, where is
Someone
it in
was
the
like,
books exactly?
what is it? Get a quick rundown.
Can somebody give me like a summary of what happens in those
Yeah.
Mayfair books? And they're like,
A Cliff
Anne did
Notes?
actually in
Actually-
Blood Canticle.
My God.
Okay. Thanks for sharing your secrets. You've trusted us as if we are sinless and kind, and we may not always be, though we try to be. Again, a good turn of phrase, but just very un-Lestat like. That's not the way that I think he would respond to this all being laid out like this. I don't.
I just also don't understand why he's in love with Rowan after 10 and a half minutes of being in her presence.
Well, and to Mona's credit, she lets him have it about it too. Like, Mona and Lestat really have it out here. She gives it to him and he gives it back to her. And they both say a lot of very true things, honestly.
Yeah. And when will anyone think of poor Michael? Both of these two have fucking fucked around and messed that poor man's life up. My God, will anyone
Well,
think of Michael?
but even the Michael presented here is just like so fine. He's like,
Passive. He's so passive.
I don't know what power you have over her exactly. It's fine though.
I'm not going to ask any questions. Things have gotten too complicated. I don't need any more explanations.
So weirdly, in his sort of desperation here, Julian and Lestat kind of make peace a little bit and have a tete-a-tete. And I think it's mostly because Lestat is so overwhelmed with his granddaughter. He's like, let me tell you about this little red-haired
Woo.
bitch you raised.
Jesus Christ, guys. My God, your genes. Woo.
A modern-minded fledgling was as complex as a nuclear reactor. Okay. Again, Lestat, maybe the problem is you. You didn't know how to deal with Claudia and Louis 250 years ago, my dude. Like,
you're not a good master.
and no, you don't
like,
know
you're
this.
really bad at this. They don't end well. It doesn't end well for his fledglings. Like, let's go through them. Like, real talk.
I mean, okay, he made, well, he didn't make Merrick. Louis made Merrick, right? Yes. Okay. So he's not responsible
I was
for
definitely
that one
blaming him
exactly.
for Merrick, though. I was definitely blaming him for Merrick.
Well, again, he made Louis, and Louis is his own set of problems because of him. But I mean, yeah, he doesn't. None of them go well.
It's not
You're
a good
right.
time. It's
No.
you know.
I mean, and I know we only do what we know how to do, right? And he
Right.
also did not have a good mentor
Good examples.
or master. I mean, Marius is as close as he gets.
Yeah.
And
we know what what fuckery that is.
That's another totally different point here for a second, but it came up on a YouTube comment from this week. We shared I shared a clip, a reel, where you and I are describing a very Marius move.
Oh, yes.
And
yes.
someone asked if we're Canadian. And I was like, I'm from Louisiana and Ashley's from Arkansas. Why did you think we were Canadian? And she said, I can't imagine that anyone else would pronounce Marius that way. How else do people pronounce Marius? I've heard Marius, but I don't feel like that was I felt like that was the affectation, maybe with a little French influence, right? If you pronounced it in a soft A. I don't know. Anyway, I'd love to hear how do you pronounce Marius?
Yeah.
Maharet's the one that I was always tight about. I thought I knew how to say Marius.
Listen, I'm pretty sure I can fuck up most of these names.
Okay, there's one other comment. There's one other note that I had for this section. Lestat is running down he gets back to, they get back to Blackwood Farm, and they're like describing the situation there at the time, and kind of like in the last section where he suddenly remembers how you actually spell Cindy's name, and so he starts spelling it correctly. He mentions the two workmen. Yes, I didn't know them.
Yes.
Oh, correct. I do. Joel was the other workman's name. And I was like, hey, wait a minute.
That's my name.
That's me. Again, I could never find the comment, but several weeks ago, someone commented about Blackwood Farm and mentioned that they kind of felt that Quinn was, we had talked about it being a self-insert character for me. He's from North Louisiana and he loves the Vampire Chronicles, etc. But supposedly that this might have been Anne's way to insert Christopher into the books. Quinn is the way that Quinn's described is very similar to Christopher's physical, appearance. Also, I think at the time that this book came out, Christopher had not too recently or fairly recently come out to his mother and father.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, so I think this may have been. I think the character of Quinn and his Mary Soonis, the way that he's got it all going for him.
He's perfect.
I think that may have been about how she viewed Christopher, which of course, Christopher is your special baby, so that makes sense.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That's lovely.
Anyway, I was glad to find my name there. There aren't that many Joels. We're not very common. I've only known a handful my whole life.
I'm trying to think. I've known a handful, but not many.
This book's a mess, Ashley, and it's not
over the place.
She's not gonna stick the landing, I don't feel like either, y'all.
Man, you know, it's a fun ride, I guess. I didn't have as much fun this section as I did the first section,
No,
just
it
because
was.
people were just acting out their asses. Come on now, everybody calm down.
I'll agree with you that it was nice to get the Taltos recap, right? And the
Yeah,
download on that, since it's been so long since you and I've read those second two books. And genuinely, I do feel like once we get through season 3 of the Vampire Show, we got to go back and read those witch books,
we
y'all,
have
because we
to.
are
We
so
have to.
fucking clueless on how all of that winds up. And we're never going to get it on screen, it seems like. So
No, no. If we read it while we watch it, we're just gonna hate it more.
yeah, that's true. We don't need to align the witch books with the witch TV show. That's a good point. Maybe if
Jesus, that's
Mayfair's
hate.
on the
That'd be
way.
rude to do to ourselves.
They're coming back and we're going to go to Salem, Ashley. Why are we going to Salem
We don't
again?
know.
I don't
We don't
want to
know.
know. I don't
Joel,
even
we
want
don't.
to know. Let's talk about what we are excited about. Talamasca's coming soon.
Yay!
Lots of good stuff coming up in our schedule here. As a matter of fact, let's bring that up and we'll talk a little
Okay,
bit about scheduling.
run it
So
down.
we have I put it all in a calendar, actually. That's what I'm going to do. I'm
Shut
going to open up my
up. That's
calendar.
organized.
I know, right? Okay, so first and foremost, here we sit in August. Goodness gracious, how has the year flown by?
Oh, it's so hot here right now. I hate it. I'm so angry.
Um so tonight, obviously, we talked about Blood Canticle. We'll finish up Blood Canticle on August 31st with part 3. In between here and there, we're going to be talking about The Howling,
Holy
a
shit.
werewolf movie.
My
Man,
God.
Ashley, that was
Who let me watch that movie as a child?
that was the number one thing that I was asking, because you talked about it being a childhood favorite. I was like, where of all, I thought I was bad for watching Predator
Whew.
at like 7 or 8 years old.
Nope, I
This is
should
a
not
weird
have
one.
watched this movie. We'll discuss it.
And very much. So that's next week. We got a movie night. And then let's see. The 31st, we'll wrap up Blood Canticle. On the 7th, we've got our next movie night. No, wait, I wasn't looking at
Teen
the
Witch?
schedule. Yeah, we've got Teen Witch on September 7th. And then on the 14th, we're going to have our first guest. We're going to bring in
I'm so
Rose
excited.
Sinister to talk about her vampire tour and all of that cool stuff. On the 21st of September, we'll do our next live stream. We'll have the time for you as we get a little bit closer to that. Ashley and I got to look at our calendars and see. But we'll try to space it out again so that maybe we'll have a different group of folks than we're able to make the last one. Okay, and then we're going to go into 4 weeks of topic episodes. Our patrons have been voting on these and discussing them, and here's our rundown. This is the new
Ooh.
information for you all. Okay, so on September 28th, we're going to do New Orleans, Joel, and Ashley style. We'll talk about our
Oh,
own history with the city. We'll talk about some of our favorite things from the city, things that we would suggest to you if this is your first trip, maybe when we're going in October. So that's September 28th. On October 5th, we will discuss other favorite vampire authors and worlds. So
excellent.
I know we're going to end up talking a little bit about Salem's Lot in that episode. I want to talk about Brian Lumley and the Necroscope series. We'll probably talk a little bit about True Blood and
Yeah.
Anita Blake and things like that. And then on, let's see, this is now, are we still in October? Yeah, October 12th. We're going to do an Anne Rice bio discussion. We'll talk a little bit about her life, not the biography necessarily, although there have been a couple of biographies written about her, but we'll just kind of walk through like her own progression, specifically focusing on her writing, what led up to it, and then the ways in which she had some different periods through her writing. And then on the 19th, we're going to do, and I've written this down in my calendar as tier listing the vampires. Okay. Do you know what a tier list is? I didn't until recently. I had to have the children explain it to me.
I'm not sure. Do I know?
Okay.
And don't know that I know?
I think you probably have seen somebody do it. So we could rank them, right? We could say, hey, here's our top 20 vampire characters
Right.
in the Vampire Chronicles. Or we could give tiers. So a tier list would be like saying, hey, here's an A-list vampire, here's a B-list
Yeah, yeah.
vampire, here's a C-list vampire. And then generally in the tier list,
It's
there's
like ranked voting.
an S tier, which is even above A, right? So, I mean, I think that would be perhaps the easier one because we wouldn't have to make such hard choices. I don't know. We'll talk. You and I will talk about it maybe off screen, and we'll do a ranking of some sort of our vampires on October 19th, and then October 26th will be the first episode of Talamasca. That's how close we are to new content from the Immortal universe.
And then we're going to be in New Orleans.
So that next week's going to be weird, Ashley, because first of all, on the 2nd of November, you and I are going to record a live stream episode where we talk about the Anne Rice event, where we talk about our weekend in New Orleans, where we talk about hanging out with some of our listeners and friends. Going to be a good time. But also we'll release the second episode of Talamasca discussion that week too. Thank God for early episodes. And then we'll be weekly. We'll have Talamasca episode 3 after that and episode 4 and so on. So Talamasca wraps up on November 30th with episode 6. Okay. And there was one more topic from our list of suggestions that everybody had in their list somewhere. Maybe it wasn't their first choice, but it was on their list of suggestions, pitching the next Immortal Universe TV series.
Ooh.
And I thought, why not put that after Talamasca? We'll have the whole series at that point to discuss. We'll be looking forward. We'll probably have a full trailer or teaser from the Vampire Lestat by then as well. And so we can look at like, where are things coming together? Where do we think this might be headed? And we will have a very informed position then to say, what could they launch next? It's easy for me to say right now, I want them to do an Ancients TV show, right? I want a Children of the Millennia or a First Brood TV show or something like that. But we'll know what they've done with Talamasca by that point, and we'll be able to tell you better. So there you go. You got a couple of months laid out for you already. That's what you can expect.
We're going to be busy as hell.
Very, very busy. Lots of fun to come. Next week, here's your homework. Go out and see The Howling. It is available on streaming on some weird service. I think I got pitched I could sign up for a 7-day trial or something.
Yeah, I did a trial of something on Prime.
There you go.
I was just gonna. You can also just rent it there for like $3.99. Which might be
I got it from the library. There's a really nice DVD it's got some cool special features and stuff that I think I'm going to dive into after we have our discussion. So stay tuned for that next week. Until then, thank you for having this book club discussion with us about Blood Canticle, even when it's a weird book. We got 3 good ones ahead of us, y'all. The Prince Lestat trilogy is going to be so much fun when we get to it.
I'm very excited.
All right. Until the next time we talk to you, we have been your hosts. I'm Joel.
I'm Ashley.
And we are the Articulate Coven. Thank you for sharing this time with the Articulate Coven. Support the show as either a free or paid member at articulatecoven.com/join. You can also find us on YouTube, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Find more from the Coven with our sister show, Flan Again, covering the works of Mike Flanagan.